Hello, this is Genevieve Fontana coming to you from Canisius University in Buffalo, New York, and you're listening to the Did You Know podcast. You might not know it, but we have eco-heroines around our campus working to make it sustainable for future generations. For each show, I will spotlight earth-friendly initiatives and sit down with the changemakers of our institution. Today we are spotlighting Jamie Bruce, owner and creator of Organic Produce Direct. Jamie is also an alum of Canisius University. Thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So would you be able to introduce yourself and explain a little bit about your company?
Sure. My name's Jamie Bruce. I'm with started Organic Produce Direct. About June 1st is when we officially started the business.
Awesome.
And about a year before, I started working on the website. So what it is, it's an online market. I work with 10 local certified organic farms in Western New York. And what I do is I put their products on my site for individuals in the Western New York area to buy direct. So it's not a prescription basis. It's really just fill your cart with individual items, whether it's fruits, vegetables, we have mushrooms, we have some other specialty items
awesome.
As well.
Yeah.
So,
That's really great.
Yeah.
And how did you learn about all these different farms and stuff like that?
So probably my feeling like I started kind of thinking about this during COVID.
Oh, okay.
Going to the grocery stores and wondering why things weren't available.
Sure.
Because, if it's local, COVID shouldn't really affect that.
Sure, yeah.
And you realize a lot of the food we're getting, at the local grocery store is not local.
Right.
It comes from other states, other countries. And I felt like, it doesn't make sense when we have all these local farms that produce great food for us. Why isn't the grocery stores supplying us with those foods? So over the last couple of years, I volunteered at a couple farms.
Oh, cool.
One was called Native Offerings down south of Buffalo.
Yeah.
And got to know, kind of their process, what it means to be organic, not using any pesticides in their fertilizers and everything they do. It's really a process and a lot of work that I've learned to do that.
Right, yeah.
And I know how important it is, to eat organic, to eat, the right foods and healthy foods. And they kind of let me know why they're not in the grocery stores, is the markups at the grocery stores for local foods is so much that they really just can't afford to do that.
Right, yeah.
With what they're doing, having the farm, managing the farm, that's their livelihood. The grocery stores take us 50-60% markup from them, so they just couldn't live that way. And that's what really typically how they sell their products is through farmers markets, CSAs, which is people pick up a box and you really get what you get, and that's it. They have curbside, stores, they do things like that. And I really felt like there should be a better option for people to get locally grown organic food.
Yeah.
And Instacart was kind of coming about, and I realized, it's a new concept out there that people don't really go to the grocery stores as much, but they're so used to it, they don't really know any other alternatives. So I built the website so people could come to the site, get affordable organic food, much more affordable than the grocery stores, and I'll deliver directly to them so they can kind of do what they're doing, but they can do it in a local, sustainable way.
That's great.
And not go to the grocery stores where you're getting food from, again, it's really not supporting the local neighborhood.
Yeah, and then you're providing those farmers that opportunity that they didn't have for being in that grocery store.
Oh, definitely.
And then, so what did you do when you volunteered at the farms and stuff?
A lot of stuff. I brought my 2 boys down with me.
Yeah.
They lasted a couple days. I lasted the whole week. A lot of weeding.
Yeah.
So one thing, if you ever go to a farm that's organic, if you go to a commercial farm, you see these gigantic machines that spray across, acres and acres of land. And they're basically spraying pesticides. And the reason they do that, so they don't need people on the farm to weed, to do all the work that traditionally farms did.
Yeah.
So really what I did for the whole week was weeding, picking food that was available. I was seeding. It starts out with seedlings. You got to put seed in the fertilizer, and then you put it in the ground, and then you grow the food from there. But again, they're not using pesticides, so if they get bugs, you got to cover them.
Yeah.
If weeds start to come up, you're always weeding. So it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And all the farms I worked with, they're all family farms, which is the amazing thing.
Yeah.
Because these farms can't afford to hire people because, they're not there they don't make a lot of money. It's a lifestyle and it's a choice, which is amazing, the work they do to make this choice for their lives, for their kids' lives. And that's really why I felt like it's something that I want to help them with, because I think it is important for us, our local community, and I think for the world to kind of go back to local farms, because these commercial farms, whether it's, meat, how they, treat the animals, or the vegetables, how they spray pesticides on all the foods that we eat, it's really a problem in our society today.
Right, yeah. And I think you have so much more of an appreciation than for each, all of these produce, because you see how it went through it from volunteering and everything.
Yeah, from when it's a seedling to grown to picked.
Yeah.
And when you see it in the store, you don't think of any of that.
Right.
Which what I've gone through, I realize how much work goes into it.
Yeah.
And how it is important for us and our health to be eating the right things. When there's so much cancer and things out there that people don't think about it because it doesn't happen overnight. It's a lifetime. But what we're putting in our foods today, it's not good.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's important to, for us start to think about more and more what we're doing.
Right, definitely. So my next question for you is, can you talk a little bit about your time at Canisius?
Sure. It was a long time ago. I graduated in 1993, so I guess it's my 30-year reunion.
Wow.
It was great. I love Canisius. I played rugby at Canisius.
Oh, cool. I don't know if we still have rugby.
I think there is a team.
Oh,
but,
okay.
I was a finance major.
Cool.
Which great teachers, great professors. And I got into the financial industry and did really well in the financial industry for basically the last 30 years. But, I realized that, what I was doing, it's a great industry and a great profession, but the change I made now, kind of my second career, is, learning really, about helping people and helping our community.
Yeah. And then you said that you recently had a change in career. So what inspired you to make this change?
Kind of just, my mother was always, she helps me on the, doing what I do.
Right, yeah, she's always here.
She's, she helps me sort the food and picks up from the farms. Yeah. But she was always very health conscious, ate organic. And I never really understood what that meant until, recently, again, I mentioned COVID and what we went through, and realizing that our system, I feel, is somewhat broken when it comes to the food we eat and where it comes from. And I just, over the last couple of years, I wanted, and I'm in sales, so I know I'm good at what I do, and working with these farms and volunteering, realizing that I don't think they have much of a voice when it comes to, they do what they do. They work hard and they, they're trying to put out their products as much as they can. But as a viable option when it comes to, the broad community, I think, I felt like they needed help, and I thought I could help them with my experience and what I do.
That's so awesome. And it sounds like how your first career definitely inspired your second, or helped you with your second career.
Yeah.
So, and all the resources and expertise that you have.
Definitely.
So our next question is, how does the practice of sourcing organic produce directly from local farmers contribute to reducing the carbon footprint of the food supply chain?
Sure. I would say I'm not an expert in the field.
Sure.
I've seen a lot of things and talked to, again, with the farms and one of the shows I loved, I don't know if you've ever seen it, it's called Kiss the Ground.
No.
And it's just, some of the things I've watched, it's on Netflix, and it's a show, it talks about soil and how our soil has been, how we, the commercialization of farming and tilling, how it destroys soil. And, they talk about, cars and, we're off the throughway here, emissions from cars, but 60% of, the carbon that, is destroying our world comes from food and how we, all the grain and all the corn that's grown for, the animals so we can eat the animals. and not really a sustainable way where, again, I'm not the expert. What a little bit I've learned is, the sustainable farming can actually take in the emissions, where the way we've done it, destroying the soil and destroying the earth, it doesn't do that. It's kind of like trees and,
right.
Where if you have growth on the ground, and animals, cows are, walking around, and it's kind of the cycle of life. We've changed that where, we're not, there is a way to help carbon emissions through the way we eat,
sure.
rather than through commercial farming where it's local, and again, there's a lot to it that I don't really understand.
Well, it seems like you're learning on the job, which is
definitely.
really great.
Yeah,
and totally immersing yourself in this culture of farming. So
definitely.
That's really great. So our next question is, how important is it to form direct relationships between consumers and organic farmers?
I think it's important. I think it's difficult in our society.
And you're helping form this relationship.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
and I think that's why I'm doing this, because I know, I drive. So Tuesdays,
right.
when I do, everything I do when it comes to, I go to the farms, I pick up the food. I drive probably 300 miles to go and get all the food from the farms, and I know people aren't going to do that.
Yeah.
They're not going to drive an hour south of Buffalo to pick up corn or to pick up blueberries. So I know it's a lot of work, but I know there's a benefit because I can bring these farmers, especially the organic farms, products to the community. And again, farmers markets are awesome. I think if people can get to a farmer's market, they should.
Mm-hmm.
But my goal is to get to those people that typically don't go to a farmer's market, don't go to the local farmers. Because again, I know it's our world. We're always in a rush. We don't have time to do much, in a day. So that's why my goal was to bring the convenience to the consumer through Organic Produce Direct, where again, I'm working with the organic, certified organic farms in the area. I don't want to go out of the area. I want to stay in the Western New York area to help those farms get to the community and to kind of bring it to one.
Yeah, and I think one trend that's been coming up in these interviews is making the sustainable decision the easy one to make, and I think you're definitely making that easy for the consumer, which is really great, your process and everything like that. Okay. So what is consumer education? What role does consumer education play in fostering support for sustainable farm-to-table movements and encouraging healthier eating habits?
I think it's extremely important, and what I've learned through kind of my journey to where I'm at now is talking to friends or family that, you mentioned organic, and a lot of people don't. They just hear it. They think, oh, it's just more expensive. They don't really understand it. So it's a process explaining that, the whole farming system has changed in our country to make it, more convenient for the farms, and it's about money too, about, these commercial farms, they want to put a little amount of time in to make as much money.
Yeah.
And what that means is they don't care about the soil, they don't care about the animals, they don't care about what they're doing, they just look at it as profit.
Sure.
Where, education is huge when it comes to, especially understanding what the process of what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Spraying pesticides on food, and any way you look at it, is not healthy. I mean, it's basically you're spraying a poison on the food
that you're going to eat soon
to kill the bugs and kill weeds, which is part of the system. Like the bugs that grow on food, or that type of in dirt, like that's protein. Those things are part of the system that we're trying to eliminate to make things look better, or easier to kind of digest, or just kind of digest them in a mental way.
Right.
You go to the grocery store and you want things to look perfect. It comes out of the ground. It's not going to be perfect. And people need to understand that. So I think explaining and teaching about organic is huge, and also teaching why local is so important. I've had people, I've been delivering for 2 months, and people have told me it lasts longer in the fridge. probably a week longer than what they buy in the grocery store.
That's great, yeah.
And also, it just tastes different.
Yeah.
The blueberries I get, typically the fruit is easiest to taste when it comes to that. But people are amazed at, because they're getting strawberries and blueberries that, first of all, have been sitting in a truck or somewhere for probably a week.
Sure, yeah.
And it's made completely differently than the way it should be made.
Yeah, you're talking about eating seasonally. This definitely helps promote eating seasonally as well, which tastes better ultimately too.
Definitely. I mean, so I kind of look at the mix of, convenience, cost, and I know that's what I need to bring to people to make it viable for people to do it. But the other side of it is, which people I think give up, is the healthy part of it. And also the taste. They realize it's easy, so I'm going to give up good tasting product because it's just easier and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, okay, what if I can bring them as convenient as what they're getting at the grocery store, more cost effective for organic food than they get at the grocery store, because you shouldn't pay more for organic.
Definitely. Yeah.
I mean, the fact is that you got to make a decision to buy healthier food, and people don't because of the cost, I think is ridiculous. And that's one thing I try to focus on.
And I think that's a trend that comes up too, is it's expensive to eat healthy, and that's one thing that you're commenting as well. Yeah.
It should be. I mean, because the grocery store's profit is so huge. I mean, you think about it, 50-60%, you think, oh, well, they employ local people and things like that, but it's not, that would probably be 10 or 20% markup to do that. It's just these corporations are making so much money and not considering all the other steps of it. And my goal with this is, your family supplied me this location at no cost, so my markup is typically about 20% for what I do with the delivery, with everything I do, so my cost can be a lot less than what it would be at the grocery store, because I'm not trying to make millions of dollars doing this. I want to do this to help people, and that's really the point of it.
That's really great.
Yeah.
So then, can you tell me a little bit about what farms you work with, and what they grow?
So I work with, 6 that are mainly, your fruits and vegetables, kind of your, they're pretty much similar, but it's the most quantity that I have on the site is your typical fruits and vegetables. So the farthest I go south, it's called Aber's Acres. It's about an hour and a half south. I get my blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, and then some vegetables as well, lettuces. From there, I mentioned Native Offerings, which I volunteer at. They have a bunch, different vegetables. Trying to think. I'm drawing a blank for all this stuff.
Oh, it's okay. Mushroom. I saw mushrooms.
Well, that's a different farm.
Oh, okay.
Mushrooms. I have a specific farm for mushrooms. That's called Heartland Organics. Their process is amazing. To be certified organic, everything they do it indoors, and they, it's a whole process of, oats and things in a bag to get the mushrooms to start growing. It's all organic. They are amazing people, an amazing farm. I work with Local Roots, which is up north near Lockport. They're in other fruits and vegetables. Thorpe's, which is in East Aurora. They're giving me corn right now. A bunch of different vegetables, potatoes, beets. Then I work with a maple syrup farm.
Oh, cool. That's my dad's favorite. He loves maple syrup.
Maple Glen Sugar House is their name. They're in Gowanda. I work with a bee farmer in East Aurora, Gentle Bee Honey. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. Oh, actually, there's an olive oil company. Oh. They're local. We don't grow olives in Buffalo. Yeah. So they're a Tunisian company. The family came from Tunisia. But they're a local company in Buffalo. It's organic olive oil as well. I think that's...
Sounds like you're meeting some really great people as well through this process. Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the most fun about what I'm doing is getting to know, what they do, how hard they work for what they're doing. And again, I haven't been to one farm or worked with anyone that they're not. I know they're not doing it to get rich, because it's not about making.
It's just hard work. It's
every day. I mean, I'm there at 7 or 8 in the morning, and they got their stuff ready for me. They've been up since 5 or 6. So it's pretty amazing.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's so awesome. Yeah. So my next question for you is, what are some ways in which you make earth-friendly choices in your life?
Earth-friendly. So I am vegan. So
me too.
And not that I would judge. I mean, I don't judge because I think if someone eats meat, I do. I would say it's important to do it the right way, because I think how they treat animals and because how much we eat in our country when it comes to meat is really, it's disturbing to me how they treat the animals.
Yes, I know.
So I think, I went vegan about 3 years ago. That was a big part of it because I didn't feel, how cows and animals, the treatment of them was, and then the health of it as well. I would say that's, a big part of what I do. And what I'm doing with this business and supporting local farms is trying to, and I'd like to expand this outside of Buffalo. I'd like to go to other cities because I built this as a process that could really be done anywhere. And I think communities should work with local farms more.
Yeah.
And I think it would make, our carbon footprint improve that over time. And because again, I think our country makes a lot of decisions based on money, not us the consumers, but I think it's kind of put on us, this is the way you should do it because it's easier and,
right.
Those type of things.
Which is hurting the planet in the process.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we all know that becoming a sustainable individual is a process. What are some things that you hope to implement in your life? It's okay if you don't have anything because you're doing really great things.
No, I would say just continue to grow my business and make people more aware of, what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. I think it's really, probably that's more of my marketing effort, trying to teach people and expand the awareness of, why eating right and, doing things the right way when it comes to your health. And, and that's, it's kind of messaging from, improve your own health, improve the health of, the earth and soil, improving, the awareness of, animals and how they're treated as well. So I think it's multiple.
Yeah, it's good on all ways around. Yes.
Yeah.
And then if someone is interested in becoming involved with Organic Produce Direct and ordering from you, how would they do that?
Go to our website. So it's organicproducedirect.net. It's .net because .com is like $50,000.
It does show up first though. When I look it up, it does show up first.
The net?
Yeah, it shows up first.
Yeah, there's someone owns a .com.
Oh, okay.
And they wanted to charge me $50,000 to get the .com.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's one of the crazy things of our culture in this world is someone buys a .com and you have to make a decision based on that. But organicproducedirect.net. Go to our site. You'll see. There is a process because of what I do and going to the local farms and having a distribution day. So my shop is open from Wednesday to Sunday. So if someone wants to come on to see what's available, Wednesday morning I open the shop for that week and it changes every week. So, because Tuesday I get the next week's product, what's available. I load it onto my site Tuesday night. Wednesday it opens and it'll be open until Sunday night. So you can shop, fill your cart, you can leave your cart open, but you got to purchase it by Sunday night. And then we go ahead and you can pick it up right here, Fontana's.
Yeah, you can. Fontana's Grove.
Fontana's Grove. Or have it delivered anywhere in Erie County. So
yeah.
Deliver everywhere in Erie County.
That's really great.
Yeah.
Thank you for speaking with me, Jamie.
Yeah,
it's been great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I appreciate it.